What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Corvette Weekly. Welcome back to the show where we discuss anything and everything Corvette, whether it is ownership items, rumors, news, maintenance kind of stuff for owning your own car, whatever it is. If it's Corvette related, we're going to talk about it on this channel. And you know what? Maybe we'll even talk about some stuff that's not Corvette related. Who knows? It gets wild in here sometimes. So we got David from DBM Racing. He's here with us. This is his on week. So, big thumbs up for him joining us. It's always a little less dead air whenever I got another person on here. So always happy to see him. Just so you guys know, I saw a comment already saying that the chat names are messed up. I don't know what's going on with that. Leave it to YouTube to mess up weird random stuff. But I can still tell by the name here who you guys are, because it's like, instead of like Kevin Horan's name, instead of it just saying Kevin Horan, there's some weird stuff afterwards, but it still says Kevin Horan. So I know who you guys are still, even though the names are weird. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. YouTube is YouTube. So I guess they're YouTubing hard today. I don't know. But anyway, guys, we got a lot of information to cover tonight. And it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one because tonight, thanks to David, actually, for giving me the idea here, we got a really cool giveaway, and it is going to be the Scrape Armor radiator grill guards, the side intake guards for an E-Ray or a Z06. So if you guys have either one of those two cars and you have not gotten your Scrape Armor grill guards yet, tonight is your chance to win them. So right off the bat, we're going to hit the ground running on this thing, guys. These things are about $700 shipped. So we're going to have a number on this for the giveaway to happen tonight, and it's going to be $700. So we got to get at least $700 registered to give these away tonight, but somebody tonight could win these for a $10 donation. So if you're interested, $10 is an entry, $50 or more is double entries. So don't wait for this one, guys. These typically go pretty quickly, and just like David was telling me earlier, he's like, every time we've ever done these, that blows up. So make sure you get in quick with these. And these are going to be given away tonight as long as we hit $700 donated. So go ahead and throw your donations out there, guys. Let's get these things won, because at the end of the day, you're going to want these on your car if you don't have them already. Trust me. So,
yep.
But yeah, that's the giveaway for tonight. And actually, we already got 2 entries, so that's pretty cool. Let me get these entered in here real quick. It looks like Kevin and Anthony. So yeah, again, guys, if you don't have these, you are going to want them. So don't miss an opportunity to get them for significantly less than what you would pay Scrape Armor for them. October 27th giveaway. We got Kevin Horan in there for 10 entries. And Anthony, I think George. Yep, Anthony George for 20 entries.
Seawolf put in a super chat.
Seawolf in with a super chat. Let's see what we got here. I have no idea what that breaks down to. That looks like probably about $50. I will give Seawolf 10 entries for that.
Yeah. And Kevin, I'm gonna try to get LMR to ship you my stock intake straight from them. So I'll let you know here shortly.
Nice. Jay Brazelton's in for 20 entries. I didn't realize you didn't have those already, Jay. You definitely need those. These are I kind of made a video about this just a little bit ago. I put the Scrape Armor grill guards on my front and on the side intakes on the car. And it's really crazy because I haven't put this video out yet, but I also did the same install for a friend of mine who's local, who just so happens to have a Seawolf Gray Z06. So it's a video of doing a bunch of mods to his car. But after we did the Scrape Armor grill guards, he stood back. He's like, yeah, man, those really do look a lot better in there. That really makes the front end look a lot better. And I'm like, these aren't even an appearance mod. Like this isn't supposed to make your car look better. But he was like pumped at how much better the front end of the car looked, because it like darkens out the radiators a little bit. And I was like,
I was even just going to say that about the side ones too. Like they're amazing and functional, but they actually improve the look of the car, in my opinion.
It makes it look more like kind of like an Aventador, because the Aventadors have those big side intakes, but they have mesh in front of them from factory. And the grill guards from Scrape Armor kind of make it look similar to that. Plus, they match the honeycomb weave matches the exact same as the rear hatch if you have a coupe. So everything like plays together really nicely. And Scrape Armor makes some of the best quality stuff. Like if you watch my video when I was installing those, it really is like it's almost impossible to install them incorrectly. The way that kit's designed, everything just like snaps into place. It's really nice.
Right.
It
Yeah, it's funny because I've had some people like go the cheap route. Let's put it that way, and it's you end up like zip tying stuff and whatever else. Whereas the scrape armor stuff, it's more money, but it just goes, it pops right in. It's like perfect.
Yep. So we got Kevin Reynolds. He is in now for 50 entries.
Nice.
So let me see, we got 3,
4. E-Ray Sonnet sure doesn't keep cigarette butts out of your intake. That's exactly right. I was impressed. I'd seen yours, Justin, but when I was doing, was it the Corsa? Yeah, it was the Corsa versus Venturi dyno testing. When I took I figured it's out. I may as well take it apart and clean them. I was really impressed at how much crap had ended up in there.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna have to look to see. Yeah,
and
it's so much stuff.
I didn't see who said the cigarette thing. Did they say that it?
E-Ray's on Ricky.
Did they say that it does or doesn't keep them out?
It does. It stops.
I was going to say because I had one in mine. I had a cigarette butt in mine, and I mean, you wouldn't talk about absolute disgusting. Like number one, I think smoking in general is kind of disgusting, but for someone to take it obviously out of their their lips, throw it out the window, and then somehow my car sucks it up and puts it into the intake, that's just disgusting. And because then I have to clean it out. And I mean, besides, I had leaves were in there, fairly large, fairly large bits of gravel, like almost what seemed like sand, and feathers, like a lot of feathers, like. At one point,
was the funniest part.
Yeah, like at one point, I'm assuming those feathers were a bird. Like a bird flew in there and just smashed into my radiators, and then I don't know if it died or what, but the bird was no longer there. But all of its feathers were in my freaking intake. Like I mean, even that stuff, even the feathers would have gotten stuck on the mesh grill in the front if I had those installed at the time, instead of making their way all the way through the intake. So.
Yep.
Yeah, napkins. That was another one. And then on a Stingray on the front, before we put grill guards in, I had a crushed up. It wasn't a Mountain Dew can, but it was a crushed up pop can. It was just like crushed out, and that whole can was in there. And I'm like,
the whole can was.
What the heck is going on? Like, how I know these are big, but dang, like anything off the road will literally go right in there. So let's see here. Yeah, that's a big thing. David saying that if only black radiators were a thing. I saw a car the other day, and actually it was a Civic. It's a Civic Type R. It's up blackout tinting. It's owned by Max. I don't know if Beck is in here or not, but Max has it, and he has some work done to it. And the big front opening where the intercooler's at, the intercooler's painted black, or not painted black. I'm sorry, it's just black. And then on the front of it, it was painted. Like the company, I can't remember who, PRL, I think it is, on the front of the radio, or on the front of the intercooler. And number one, the car's black. So if that intercooler was silver, it would look unbelievably ridiculous. But the fact that it's black literally looks like part of the car. It's a way better look. So I do wish GM would do that. Absolutely.
It takes me back to, like you said, an intercooler, like a lot of like the early Cobra days or like the Shelby days and stuff, where they had you can get them painted, but they also had like the metal wasn't said like Shelby on them or whatever, but like you could get them in black like that, and it made a huge. No matter what color your car was, it didn't matter. That made a huge difference. So if only that was a thing from GM that you could, even if you had to pay for it, check a box, whatever.
Make it an upcharge option. Absolutely. Right. The sad part is almost everybody would check it. So we're up to about $500, guys. If we got to get to at least 700 for these to be a giveaway item tonight. Otherwise, we'll just push them to next Monday night. But we're at 5 pretty quick. So
and these are worth it all day long. This is one of the best things you guys we've had on here. Like they always go quick, and they were hard to get initially too. I don't know how they are right now, but they were tough to get.
Yes, they were. Yep, they were tough. Even the front ones for those Z06, and I mean, I've talked to them about it before. The side intakes for the Stingray are apparently being worked on. So that should be kind of any day now.
That would be awesome too. I mean, at this point, it's essential. GM, it just is. You know what I mean? Like GM doesn't offer it, but like scrape armors come in there, but it's just essential at this point for the site. Like you have to have it. Yeah, guys, thumbs up, please. It helps us out.
Oh yeah, yeah, guys, let's rock the thumbs ups. I almost forgot. Thank God we got David on here to remind us. Thumbs ups, guys, really helps the channel a lot. Let's get to 100 by 8 o'clock, and then the other 100, 200 by 8:30 if we can. I'm just watching the donations coming in, so we can hopefully give these things away tonight. But if you guys do win, and you want any kind of instructional video on how to install these, I just put out a video a couple days ago showing how to install the side intake guards. So really good timing for this. And again, totally David's idea, but a big thank you to Scrape Armor for hooking the channel up. And obviously, even though we are talking about Scrape Armor, this particular month is sponsored by Racing Sport Concepts, which if you guys haven't heard of them yet, you're going to hear of them a lot on my channel, and that's because they're one of the best, if not the best, aftermarket carbon fiber companies, and without a doubt, the best ones for the C8 Corvette. The carbon fiber quality that they put out is just absolutely second to none. And the big news for this entire month is that the ZR1.1 wing is in stock. So if you like the way that wing kind of reworked, it's not exactly a ZR1 replica wing. It's reworked in a way that, personally, I think it fits the car better than it does on the ZR1. I feel like the proportions are more correct. And this picture that they used on their website is actually, that's on my car there. So you can really, really get a feeling for how this wing just feels like it fits better on this car. The ZR1 wing is actually, in my opinion, a hair too big. And this one scales down just like, it's not much, like maybe 5 or 8% smaller, but it's whatever they did is perfect. So if you guys want to grab one of these wings, do it quick. These things are going to sell out quick. And when they do, it's going to, they buy them in bulk, but it's typically a little bit of time in between. So make sure you get them. And if you call Racing Sport Concepts and mention that you saw it on the Horsepower Obsessed YouTube channel, you're going to get some form of discount. So do that as well. Make sure you're calling them, tell them that you saw it on my channel. They'll hook you up. But it's really a really nice looking wing.
Yeah, and it was so evident when you were parked next to Steven's ZR1 at Carlisle.
Yeah.
Like that was where I was, because I didn't know how much of a difference it was until you guys were parked together. I was like, yeah, actually, like the little bit teeny tiny smaller version.
Yeah, and the thing is like,
but it's enough.
I was going to say, Bill busts out while we were at RSC or Carlisle, busts out a tape measure, and he's actually measuring the stock one versus his. And he's like,
of course they are.
It's like,
yeah, of course.
It's like
the engineers are measuring.
Yeah, it's less than an inch difference in the girth of the wing, and it's like, difference. I don't understand how visibly it looks way more fitting on the car when it's really only about a half an inch to an inch difference all around. Like the wing sits up the exact same height. The width of it's almost identical. The girth of the actual wing is about half an inch less on the RSC wing. And then the end plates are slightly smaller. That's it. But other than that, the dimensions are pretty much identical to the OEM GM wing. And yet it looks way more fitting from RSC. Now,
if that wing wasn't next to the ZR1 wing at Carlisle, I never would have even been like, wow, there's such a huge difference. Do you know what I mean? Like if I just saw it on your car, then saw Steven's ZR1, like I probably wouldn't even notice the difference. But when they're sitting there next to each other, it was, I was with you. We talked about it at Carlisle. I was like, man, dude, this actually looks better.
Yeah.
Just a tiny bit smaller.
Tiny bit. And if the big wings aren't your thing, I get it. Luckily for you, RC has you covered there too, because if you don't want to get the big ZR1.1 wing, you can actually go with their wicker bill extensions, which are carbon fiber. You can go with their Z07 wing with risers if you want a slightly taller Z07 wing. You can go all kinds of different directions. They have a duckbill spoiler thing here too, which is not necessarily my speed, but it is an option. It's on here somewhere. But really a lot of options here, because what the stuff that they do is not necessarily just OEM copies. A lot of the stuff they build is OEM plus, and if you're like me, you love that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
there's
Same here.
that's the duckbill spoiler. So, really, a lot of options out there. If you don't want a big wing, you don't have to get a big wing. But I know a lot of you guys are like me, and you like the big wings, and the ZR1.1 wing is available. So, go get it.
Yep. And their Z07 wing is way better quality than anything that's out there right now. It's so good.
Yeah, it
And
is.
the high risers. So if you want the Z07 wing, but you kind of want that little big wing look a little bit more, you can get an extra inch up on those risers, and that even takes it to the next level too. So
Yep. Guys, smash the thumbs up button. Let us know you're liking the content. Let's get to 100 by 8 o'clock. Really helps the channel a lot if you hit that thumbs up, and it's free. I promise you. It'll make you feel good. But I saw Gordon Cruz was in here. Gordon, do you have the side intakes, the grill guards for your car? He did say that the side intake video was excellent. I appreciate that, Gordon. Definitely something that everybody should have. If you have a wide body C8, you should have those guards, and you can get them here for significantly less than you'll pay at Scrape Armor. NBA Live says RSC needs to make a GT3 RS / GTD style wing for the Z06 and Z01. Yep. Something kind of interesting. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find that picture now. I don't remember where I sent that to you from, David, but
yeah.
the GTD, if you guys didn't know this, the GTD is already back over at the Nurburgring. It's already there currently trying to beat the ZR1 and ZR1X record. Now, why I find this interesting is because there's a picture of it trying to beat the record on the Nurburgring currently. And what Ford decided to add to the car to help make a little more downforce in the front is 2 sets of dive planes on the side. So a big dive plane on the bottom, then a slightly smaller one on top. This is exactly what the ZR1X is bringing in their new aero package. Once that car becomes available on the online builder, you'll see it. They're adding a secondary dive plane on the top. That's to assist in adding more downforce on the front end. I think it's funny that Ford's doing that without even knowing that Chevy is about to do the same thing. So it really a good indication of what it is that will help keep the front end down on a track whenever both these companies are doing the same thing as each other, and they don't even know that the other one's about to do it too. And they are doing it.
Yeah, John.
Yep, they're doing it with a pro driver. So yeah, David, you can talk about that.
I was just gonna say, John, it's funny because when I was at, I told Justin this, and this is the first time we got a chance to talk about it, but I got these amazing paddock passes and all these other things when I was at the F1 race. So I was basically just mingling around with some of the drivers and the teams, whatever. But I was sitting in waiting to go through this one, and one of the guys had a Ford racing powertrain because they're going to be doing the powertrains for Red Bull for F1 next year. So I was just joking around, and I was like, "So, when are you guys going back to the ring to take out the ZR1 and ZR1X times from Chevy?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, we're already on our way over there," which was 2 weekends ago. So they're there now. He's like, "We're already on our way back over to do this." He's like, and if anybody saw, I don't know if you watched it, they delivered a GTD to Max Verstappen, and then he drove it with Chris, what's his name or whatever from British Top Gear. But anyway. He said that when Max had driven it, that they were trying to hire Max to drive it at the ring because Max claims he can knock 5 seconds off of their time.
Oof, that's going to be
Is
tough.
what he told the Ford engineers, that he could take 5 seconds off the GTD time based on his driving of it. He's, because he set the GT3 Ferrari car record or whatever, but when he was racing there. But yeah, if they put Max in that car, GM's going to have to hire another F1 driver to do it.
See, GM won't do that though. And Robert Brun's saying Ford won't find 3 seconds. There's no way. In the car, the way it exists currently, I'd probably agree. But Ford, it looks like they're making alterations to this and that to make it absolutely a track monster. If they're putting 2 sets of dive planes, then I mean, they're obviously working on the aero part of the car. So
yeah, and
if they do that in combination with a way better driver, they're going to find 5 seconds.
And that's what he said was like the powertrain basically is going to stay unchanged. I mean, that's his wheelhouse. He works for Ford Powertrain. So that was but he said they're working more on the aero. So But again, I mean, like if anybody knows, it should be Max, and Max has driven the GTD on a racetrack, and he says he can knock 5 seconds off. So
Yeah, that's
I
wild.
don't know.
Um,
That's a lot of
so
time too, man.
I got a question up here, and I'm going to alter the giveaway here a little bit because I did get a question from somebody. Where did I see that? Somebody asked me if these were the side intakes or the front intakes. I'm going to let you choose. So it's going to be for the wide body car. So it's either the Z06 or the E-Ray or even the ZR1 at this point for the fronts at least. If you want the fronts or the sides, not both. You'll have to choose one of the two, but you'll have that choice if you do win. So again, front or side intake radiator grill guards from Scrape Armor. If you win the giveaway tonight, we have to raise at least $700 to make that make sense. So let's keep the donations going. I'll get you entered as we go, and at the end, we'll give them away tonight as long as we hit that 700 number.
What's our total at right now, Justin?
500.
I put 100 in.
You want to put 100 in?
Yep.
All right. So David brings it up
guys,
to.
so now all we have to do is come up with another 100 somewhere. Let's do it, guys. Come on.
There you go.
Let's do it.
So David's helping you guys out. Now we just need $100 more to make this thing happen tonight. So before we get too much into the rest of this stuff, guys, I do want to talk about, you guessed it, the HPO Vette Exchange. We got another new car. So number one, we do have the 2003 C8 Corvette that is modified. It has 644 wheel horsepower and looks like an absolute beast. I mean, this is one of the nicest looking modified Corvettes I've ever seen. And it runs really well, no check engine lights, everything documented. And I mean, it's won a bunch of awards and everything. So go check this thing out, guys. We have even the dyno graph up on here showing 644 wheel horsepower, which is wild out of the C8 that weighs probably right at the 3,000 pound mark.
I was really, gonna say that thing from flies.
Yeah, really an awesome car. That's being asked right now, 33.5. The guy has 100 grand into it in parts, so definitely worth every penny. But check it out. If that's not your speed and you want something a little more stock, we're selling a stock 2000 C8 convertible with only 25,000 miles on it. Right now, 19.9. So really a clean looking car. Again, if you're looking for a C8, I have yet to see better examples of a C8 than these two cars. I mean, look at the interior of this thing. It looks like no one's ever even been in it. So again, really cool option there. But if you want to go something a little bit newer, we are now selling a C7 Z06 convertible 3LZ for $64,000. And it is super clean and only has 17,000 miles on it. This thing is as clean as it gets. And this is one of the best priced Z06s I've seen. And yeah, it's a 3LZ. It's not even stripped. This thing's loaded. So
3LZ Burt for 64.
Yeah, that's wild. And again, looks like no one's ever sat in the freaking thing.
That's a smoking deal. Holy cow.
If you guys are interested in any of this stuff, just go to the horsepowerobsessed.com website. Up at the very top, you'll see HPO Vette Exchange there in the middle. It's going to take you right to this page where you can choose either one of those three cars and email us and let us know which one you're interested in and how you'd like to move forward with it. So definitely check those out, guys. Really cool, really a cool set of cars we have on our site right now. So
yeah, and that is legit a smoking deal on that. See, if it wasn't red, bro, like holy cow, 64.
Yep. All right, so we got Jay Brazelton in with another 100 and Kevin in with 100. So we will be giving these away tonight.
All right, good job, guys.
All right, so Kevin Reynolds in with another 10. So
nice.
Kevin Reynolds is still leading the pack. He's got 60 entries, but second place, we got Jay Brazelton with 40. So yeah, we're looking good here, guys. Let's keep the donations going though, because just because they have the most entries does not guarantee either one of them a victory. So I've seen it before where the guy with one entry will win. So it's not impossible. If you're interested, keep it rolling. So let's see what else we got. For those of you waiting for a 2025 or even a 2026 Corvette, if it was one of the early ones built, maybe didn't have the fix. The fix now for the fuel fire issue thing is it's available. At this point, it's being shipped out to the dealership, so your dealer might not have it just yet, but it is coming. So officially, the part is called a filler neck seal panel, and we even have the part number for it right here. Right there's the part number 86371991 if you're interested. And the safety recall number is right here as well. And just like I told you guys months ago, the fix is completely outside of the vehicle. There is going to be no reason to take off a fender or even go in through the side fender. It's completely from the fuel door. You open up the fuel door, pull out the old one, which they actually show here with a pair of pliers. You'll pull that out and you'll push in the new piece, which is this one right here. That's it. That's the fix. Because the only difference is they sealed off the little drain hole. That's their fix.
That's it.
It's available. Going out to the dealers as we speak, and actually, I think I saw Mark was in here. Is Mark still in here? Yeah, he is. So yeah, he says he'll believe it when he gets it, but it is available, and that means Mark should be getting his car very soon. So I feel honestly, I feel like I don't even care about this for myself, but I care about it more for Mark for him to finally get his freaking car than I care about it for myself. But I know a bunch of you guys out there are waiting for your 25s or 26s. This should be coming to an end very soon here. And if you guys paid attention in the very beginning when I was talking about this, as this being the fix, the speculated deadline was around the end of October. Check out your date there. So we talked about it on the channel. I saw the original CAD drawing. I knew the fix was done from outside of the car. I knew all this stuff. The only thing I didn't know was the part number. But we're right at the end of October. This is exactly when they said that was going to be rolling out. So.
That's what they said. Yep. That's what my guy said. It was funny because did you get a call or a letter from your dealer yet?
Yeah, I got a letter.
Okay, so I got a call. Mark, you're gonna appreciate this. Like, don't even know you, but you're gonna appreciate this. So my guy, both my service guy and the parts guy, they watch the channel, watch Justin's channel, watch my channel. And when they called me, I was like, "Can you guys ship that part to Mark's dealer so he can get his ZR1?" And they cracked up laughing. They're like, "No, sorry, but if we could, we would." So I tried, man. I really tried for you, buddy. So,
I don't understand
and they
why
know the story, so that's why it was funny to them. They know the story, so
I don't know why that's a no. Like, why is that a no? Why can't you ship it to another dealership and get it done quick?
I think because they already ordered it on my VIN.
Oh, okay. I got you. You were going to give them yours.
They already know. Like, they just go ahead and do all. Like, they're like, yeah, do it. So
yeah.
But yeah.
All right, guys, we got 140 people watching. We only got 90 thumbs up. So let's rock those thumbs up. Let's get them up to 100 for 8 o'clock, and then we're going to try to push for 200 by 8:30. Would be really awesome. We got a bunch more information to talk about tonight, guys. So keep those thumbs ups coming. Keep the donations for the scrape armor radiator grill guards for a E-Ray Z06 or at least the fronts for a ZR1. You could get them in here tonight as a giveaway for $10. If you want to throw a $10 entry in there, take your shot at it. Let's do it. Right. Lewis says 2 months for a filler piece with foam added. Yeah, and I mean that's kind of the sad part of this is it really has taken a long time for this to be done. But unfortunately, it is what it is. John Perkins says that the 3D printers are going to be working overtime. If they're 3D printing this part, I understand why this took so long. Even less like if they've been 3D printing this thing, they should have been just shipping out thousands of these things a day.
Right, immediately, exactly.
Big 11 says I don't know who that is, but it is a member of the channel. So this is one of the situations where I don't recognize the name. He says, is Roswell Green really out already? Might be a rare car to have if true. It's not discontinued yet, but based on the sales and how many have been produced, something tells me it's going to be on the chopping block after 1 year, just like Cacti was. And that's unfortunate because I like Roswell Green a lot better than I liked Cacti, but it's looking like people are choosing it just as rarely.
And if you've seen a car in person with the right spec, like that yellow at the Carlisle, it works. It really, really works. It does. So the Roswell Green.
I thought that if I got green, I'd get the yellow calipers. until someone called it a John Deere spec, and I was like, God, now it's ruined, and I can't do it.
Hey, I'm cool with that. I wear my John Deere shirt. I'm
Yeah,
cool with
yeah. I
that.
mean, you're a Georgia
I'm
Southern
a
guy,
farmer.
like you're okay with it. Up here, you can't rock that stuff up in PA. Like it's just not, it's not gonna work for me.
That's awesome.
Sean, yeah, I totally agree with this. He says, I can't believe it wasn't just a little rubber plug that you would stick in the hole. Oh, by the way, before we go any further, I forgot to mention last Monday night that I had the AWE really good price pushed through. They didn't want to call it a group buy because it's not technically a group buy. But guys, I got 15% off of the AWE exhausts. I've already gotten a bunch of these ordered. If you want to get one at 15% off, it knocks about $600 off of the Z06 exhaust. I need to know immediately. So if you want to get an AWE exhaust for your Z06, Stingray, Ram TRX, C8 Corvette, it doesn't matter. If AWE makes the exhaust, let me know what it is you want. I can get you 15% off of it. I need to know tonight though. So if you want to get an AWE exhaust for a ridiculously good price, email me, horsepowerobsessed@gmail.com. Let me know you want it and we will work out the details. That's
I don't know if I asked you, Justin, just for people on the channel, does that stack with their military first responder, or is that
no, it can't, no, because I'm the one
okay?
putting in
Okay.
the order, so it actually comes from me.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the 15 is that's the highest discount you will see from them. So 15%. Let me know, guys. Like I said, you got to email me ASAP. And yeah, E-Ray San, it is huge. So if you want one, get on it.
Yeah, it's huge.
And like I said, it
And
doesn't
it's the
matter what
best
the car
exhaust.
is. If AWE makes it, I can get 15% off of it.
Yeah,
I've
it's
already
the best
ordered it
exhaust.
for a bunch of you guys. Yeah, David knows what it sounds like. He obviously,
Period.
yeah, obviously got one on his C6. That was an awesome time, by the
Yeah,
way.
and get one on him. Yeah. Dude, that was so actually that was the one thing my transport guy when he showed up today, he was or no, Saturday, he was like, what did you do to this thing? He's like, it sounds completely different than the last time I
Yeah,
picked it up.
how about that?
I was like, just an exhaust. This is so far, man. So
Yep, well, I got one for Jay Brazelton. I got one for John Perkins. Got one for Sean. One for Bill Miller. I'm going to forget somebody's name, I'm sure, but I promise you, if you put in the order, it's already been ordered. I didn't get one for Seawolf 06. I'm surprised. I don't know if he was in on that giveaway or that group buy or not. But either way, guys, if you want an AW exhaust for 15% off, email me. Let me know ASAP because I definitely want to get you one of those things. All right, looks like Mark is going to be in on one, so that's cool. Mark, I got you set up. Just shoot me an email with that, and we will get that put in ASAP. Yeah, Christmas came early. Oh yeah, Anthony George was another one that ordered it. Guys, no more entries for the scrape armor. Let's keep going with that though. Scrape armor grill guards for a Z06 side intake or the Z06 front bumper area, or E-Ray, or the ZR1 just for the front. So let's keep going with those. If you want to win those, you can do that with possibly a $10 donation. 23 or 24 3LZ Riptide says, what happens to this thumb up, Shane? Shane's in here from time to time, but Shane works like a madman. So he's usually really busy, but he'll come in from time to time.
Nope.
Does it come with a ZR1? Unfortunately not. That would be cool if all you had to do is buy the front grill guards and it came with a free ZR1. I'd buy 3 or 4 of them, you know what I mean?
right. Exactly.
Professor Corvette says, hey guys, got to do touch and go, out of town for a work thing. I appreciate you popping in even for a second, Professor. Smash a thumbs up for me. I really appreciate that. That really lets me know your dedication. I'm pretty sure he's one that has not missed an episode yet. So, Amber just got home. So yeah, she made it home safe. Exchange rate. Yeah, that's probably true. I feel bad for you, but I mean, you could always have Kevin buy it for you. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody can buy it and get it up there for you.
Kevin
If
happens
I
to be.
live close, I'd do it, man.
I would too, man. I'd be making that border jump all the time for my
Heck yeah.
Corvette friends to the north.
Well, yeah, especially for Dan. Heck yeah, man. Dude.
There he is. E-Ray, C8 and 8. He's the guy who won the side intake guards last time, I believe, with a $10
Yeah,
donation, guys.
before they were even released.
Yeah, he won it for $10. So he's living proof that it can happen.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like we hit 100 thumbs ups, guys. Let's keep rocking those. Let's get to 200 in the next half an hour or so. So my thumb is up. I'll be back next week. Awesome. All right, man. Take it easy. All right, so let's talk about the Roswell Green, because we've already kind of discussed it. Yep. It is unfortunately, like I said, it's off to a slow start on 2026 orders in general, not just ZR1, but this color in general is not selling as big as some people would have thought. This is basically one of the only greens that has come to a Corvette for quite some time, other than Cacti. And Cacti, like you guys know, only lasted for a year before it was over and done with. So the fact that this is already on a slow, kind of pace tells me this is going to be the least sold color, just like it was with Cacti. And that means it's going to suffer the same fate. It's going to end up being canceled after 1 year. So if you guys want that super rare Corvette, which I know somebody already mentioned that if it's already on the way out, that it's going to be rare, get it now. Get your 2026, get that color, because I could almost put money on the fact that it will be gone for 27.
But most people's complaints are not the color; it's the lack of options to go with it. So
would secondary colors,
would GM give you more options to go with it next year, or X the color?
They'll X the color, because
although I will say this about you were saying about the Cacti like being the year, I like that color, but I'm calling it right now. GM, the Cadillac F1 team that start next year, all the Cadillac people that were at F1 had black shirts with Cacti logos on them. I bet you their livery has Cacti on it. I'm calling it right now for the 26 F1 car, because all of their shirts, even like they're like polos with like the little Cadillac F1 racing, it was Cacti.
That's interesting, because I know Chevy discontinued it for Corvette, but they still have it in their lineup, like the Traverse and stuff. You can get that in Cacti. So if that's the case, I'm not
saying it's going to be an all Cacti car, but I guarantee you maybe black with Cacti. Because every shirt, the like button downs, the polos, the t-shirts, their bags, all the swag, and you couldn't buy it but the guys that were walking around wearing it, it was all Cacti. So I was like,
interesting.
Yeah.
That would be, like I said, I know they haven't discontinued the color, so it is very possible that it comes back in some way, shape, or form. But Hot Rod Todd says that it was for the ZR1s and it's doing very well on the Stingrays. Even at 11%, Hot Rod Todd, I would put money on the fact this is a 1 year color. And not that I want it to be by any means, but David's partially right with the fact that half the problem is that there's not a good secondary color. Like, you could throw, honestly, yellow calipers is the only thing that makes sense, but then you got yourself a John Deere spec. And once you hear that and you see it, you can't unsee it. It's burnt into your head now. So what other color caliper would you do with it? You have, in my opinion, you got really two options. You do either yellow or black. And like doing black calipers on a car like this, when you're most likely going to do black wheels too, the calipers are totally lost, and you're going to have these giant, probably 10 piston calipers back there with the new Alcon setup, and you're not even going to be able to see them. So it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to do, some strange random color.
And again, if you could do a green interior, okay, sure, and then your calipers aren't as big a deal, right? But I mean, like, there's not those options. And it's not the color itself. The color works, man. But like you said, just not having the specs.
See, this is where we're at, because Sean says you could do red calipers for a Christmas edition. Yeah. And that's the thing, is like now all of a sudden you're doing these weird things that are either Christmas or John
Right.
Deere, and then, or you could do orange calipers, and then you have like a Halloween special thing going on. It's like, this is just
Right.
a weird situation. I don't know why that's a thing. Yeah, Cool Dad Stuff says, or Sprite. Yeah, you'd have like a Sprite mobile. That'd be cool if you're trying to get a Sprite sponsorship, which actually,
Yeah. Or do.
yeah.
Do.
Yeah, Mountain Dew would be harder though, because it would, I don't even know what color you'd make that. I guess yellow still would work, but
You could still do the yellow, but anyway.
John
But even
Perkins
if they
was
offered
sad you didn't
green
have a drive by
calipers and you
comment.
did green on green,
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
I don't have. I'm
Like
Yeah,
even if you did
you could do
green on green
that.
would be another option. But like,
They don't even have
yeah, I mean,
green.
it's.
So, and odds are
I
good,
know that's
even
what
if they
I'm saying.
did, they're going to have it as a, what were they calling that? Edge green. And what it is
Yep.
like basically just a flat clear coat.
Yep. Well,
Yeah,
those
or
are the
Ninja
Brembo
Turtles.
colors too. Those aren't even GM
Right.
colors. Those are the
Right.
Brembo colors. So.
I mean, you could do that, I guess. You get a Roswell green car, take off the calipers, and get them powder coated something, either
Yeah.
green or something. But like, even if, yeah, Metal Flake purple would probably be okay. Green and
Yeah.
purple go
That'd
together
be like your
interesting.
Donatello.
Or
Donatello
like
special.
Green Goblin from Spider-Man. Like
Yeah.
it again, then you're getting into this like character instead of just a car. Like
exactly.
it's weird, but
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't really work unless you have a lot of options for it. So.
yeah. Well, shifting gears a little bit, guys. Keep smashing that thumbs up button. We got a lot more to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about the production numbers for the 2025 model year for Corvette. They're actually a lot lower than I thought they were going to be. There was a year,
Me too.
I don't remember which one it was now, between 2020 and 2023, one of the years in between there, that the production actually hit over 40,000 Corvettes made. And
Yeah.
in 2025 it was only 25,000. Now, the interesting numbers here
Oh shit.
is actually the Z06
Flying. Came flying.
not really like
Flying.
churning them out as much as you'd think. Still making more Stingrays than anything. Barely any E-Rays. I mean, literally almost nothing.
That's crazy.
I know. And then the ZR1, of course, we already knew they had very few made, but it's wild how the last 4 production models there, just really, really low numbers. And overall, only making 25,000 for that year. I mean, I'm okay with it at this point. I already own one. So I'm okay if they drop the production down enough that makes the values of these cars go back up. But at the same time, that's not their game here. They wanted to make 40,000 of these cars a year. That was their ultimate goal with the entire C8 lineup, was to make sure that they were pumping out 40,000 a year.
Wow.
So
It just kills me that they're still not cranking out E-Rays, man.
yeah. And the weird thing about this is there's got to be a reason. And you got 2 possible reasons. One, the demand isn't there. And I think that's probably it. But the other one is that GM it just isn't making them. But I don't think that's it, because it's like, if the demand was there, the demand always rules what they're doing here.
Right.
So other than the ZR1, because it was obviously, very last thought in 2025. So currently though, and for 2026, that's going to be another topic we're going to be talking about tonight, is that last week they made 60 ZR1s. 60.
In 1
6
week,
0,
yeah.
in 1 week. So it's not that the demand for the ZR1 is definitely freaking there, but it doesn't seem to be for the E-Ray, because they've made more ZR1s for 26 than they've made of E-Rays already. So I know there's a couple people in the chat here who are obviously E-Ray owners or E-Ray fans, and me and David were talking about this before we went live here. It's not a thing. It's not that I'm not a fan of the E-Ray. There is multiple levels to this, as to, I prefer the Z06, and my biggest complaint with the E-Ray was always that it would, in my opinion, is it's too expensive. I think if you wanted to sell that car, it should have been slotted directly between the Stingray and the Z06 at about where you would think that price would come in, 75 to 85 is where that car should have started. And if they would have started
They
it there,
couldn't make enough of them if they sold it at
Agreed.
85 even.
Yep.
They couldn't even make enough of them. If they offered
Totally
that
agree.
car for 85, They couldn't even stop. I'd buy one for 85. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's the thing is at 85, that car then makes you go, do I want a Z06? Like,
Heck yeah.
I can get this E-Ray and do XYZ with it, and by the time I'm done, I'll be way faster than a Z06, and I'll be under the price I would have paid for a Z06. That's where the difference is. Because when I've driven the first E-Ray I drove was actually Andrew's from CSP. When I drove that car, I thought, it's not bad. It's not a Z06 right off the bat. I'm going to tell you, it's not a Z06, and I noticed it wasn't. I noticed the extra weight right off the bat. But it was cool. Like I liked the transformer sound of that front motor. I liked the fact that you could do it, stealth mode and silently for a little while. I liked that it was all-wheel drive. I like all those things. But the difference in the price at that time was like $8,000 or something. And I'm like,
I'll say it wasn't even 10 grand at the time.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
in my opinion, it's not worth it at that point. So we'll see what happens. But
yeah, and like you said, they wouldn't even be able to make enough if they offered it for that price. Not even close.
Yeah,
They would sell them like crazy.
Why Envy even says 85 starting E-Ray price would sell out in 10 minutes. It absolutely would.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. It's like if you're wanting to sell these cars, which obviously GM wants to sell these cars, that's how you do it. Discount the thing, and people will go nuts for it. If you guys remember back in would have been 2015, whenever the Z28 Camaro came out. It was the 5th gen Camaro Z28. They came out, they started at $75,000. And this was a stripped version with an LS7 engine in it. It was a stripped Camaro to try to get all the weight out of it with an LS7. Started at 75. No one wanted one. The car was built as a track spec car. No one wanted one. Immediately, GM was throwing discounts at these things. I remember walking into a dealership locally, seeing one of these cars sitting on the lot, brand new for $45. I kick myself every day that I didn't buy that car because now you can't touch them for under 60 grand, and they are ridiculously good cars.
They are amazing cars, actually. Yep.
So this is what GM has to do sometimes to breathe life into a specific car is to drop the price. It's a cool car, but it's not, in my opinion, it's not worth the price tag.
Yeah, and you're never going to be able to take two completely different experiences, put them at about the same price, and expect the one that's not going to be the exotic kind of next level top dog car with a new branded car.
It's not even just that. They didn't advertise the E-Ray anywhere near as well as they did the Z06. So everybody to this day thinks that the E-Ray is full electric. So Lars kind of says what I've been talking about for a long time now, and that is if they kill the E-Ray and go for the Grand Sport and the Grand Sport X, the car will sell. And that's ultimately what it's going to take. In order for the E-Ray to sell well, they're going to have to completely cancel it, bring out the same exact car basically with a different name. It's going to be the Grand Sport X.
I love the whole GSX thing.
I do too. I think that's cool.
That
would be the only reason I'd even consider one. I've never been a Grand Sport guy either, but I would just call it the GSX all the time.
I know. I love that. But honestly, that's the thing. Even if they come in, again, that's always been the thing. You get, the performance handling, a little bit more power. You get the wide body. That's what the Grand Sport's all about. Has always been up there as far as bang for your buck.
Yeah.
I mean, if they price it right and don't screw it up, again, they won't be able to make enough Grand Sports to fill the demand. They just won't.
No, I mean, the Grand Sport by itself is already going to sell well. Based on what I've heard about the car and what they're going to do with it, which is just like David said, it's going to be a wide body car with a stock-ish power plant. There's a good chance there's going to be a different engine in the car that's still going to be relatively stock-ish as far as power output. Then if they bring the X version of that out, everybody's already going to know what that X means because we've already seen it with the ZR1X. They're not going to assume it's all electric like they are with the E-Ray because of that E. The E is literally the only reason why they think it's all electric. And if I go outside, and I might do this one day just for giggles, and poll 10 random people, hey, what do you think about the E-Ray? I bet you at least 7 of those 10 think that it's fully electric. And that's insane that that's the case because it was never advertised that way. But the problem is it wasn't advertised well enough for people to have ever even heard of it. They just hear the E and automatically think it's all electric.
Exactly. And you know why that is? Because the other brands that have marketed very well Your Audis, e-tron, your
Yeah.
Mustangs, Mach-E. You
Yep.
think it's all E, 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 and they've advertised the crap out of it, and now you get an E-Ray, and your automatic first assumption, if you don't know Corvettes, you don't follow them, is what? It's all electric.
Yep. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but that's probably what's happening. The Grand Sport's coming in 27. I already made a couple of videos talking to you guys about what the Grand Sport's going to look like. It's going to be obviously very similar to what we have now with the wide body. The front bumper is going to be exactly what we have on the ZR or the Z06, except for the fact that the middle intake area is going to have a plastic plate completely covering it because there's not going to be a radiator there. So similar to the Stingray, how it has a plastic plate in the middle where your license plate would go. That's what it's going to look like on the Grand Sport, but it's going to be an actual Z06 bumper. Other than that, there's really not going to be much difference. The side intake, the scoops on the side are going to be the same. Everything of the car is going to look pretty much the same.
Yeah, Mead, I feel you 100%, brother. Though, like I like the little whoop on the E-Ray, but it doesn't do anything for me over the.
Oh yeah.
LC6.
I like the sound because it's like Transformer-ish. But if I had to choose one of the two, obviously I'm taking the Z06 sound. I mean, I've been very vocal with the fact that I would prefer the Z06 over the E-Ray any day. And that's not because I dislike the E-Ray. I think that the E-Ray has a place in the lineup. I just feel personally it was overpriced.
And and again, as much time I've spent behind the wheel of Nate's, I've driven some other E-Rays, I've rented some on tracks, everything else. Like, I mean, it's an absolutely freaking amazing car, and it's heartbreaking that they priced it where they priced it, that they didn't advertise it, because it really could have been something even more special. I mean, if you got one, good for you guys, because at some point somebody's gonna be like, "Hey, do you remember those C8 E-Rays? Like, man, you can't even buy them now because they're so rare." But so good for you guys. And Nate, whenever you want to sell me yours, I'll take it. So just let me know.
While we're talking about hybrids or electric vehicles, we can't really miss the point of something that just recently popped up here, and that is that a suspected EV fire damages GM's California design studio. This, I don't want to say is funny, but it's kind of funny because this is the studio that has been bringing us the new designs of what is supposedly a C10 or C11, whatever it is. It's real futuristic design Corvettes. And a fire breaks out and they find out that it's one of the EV cars they have sitting there. So this car you're looking at, this is kind of like what somebody there designed as to what the C10 could possibly look like. And then one of these things, which I thought that, they actually have a picture of it there. You can see it. It's at the charging bay or whatever. That's the car that most likely caught fire. And of course it caught fire and it burnt a good bit because you can't just put these fires out. Right. So the fact that this happens while there's like this giant push for EV stuff and hybrid stuff, it's just, it's almost comical. It's almost like someone wrote this as like satire. Like, it's wild that this could happen. And all in this GM branded studio, it doesn't look good for the brand. I mean, this thing catches fire and burns down half of their freaking design facility. It's like, I don't know. When I read that, I was like, good God, this literally, I thought it was a joke at first. I thought it was like, okay, this is satire, but no, it's legit.
Well,
and
not just the electrification part of it, right? Because we all kind of like balk at that, but look at car brands that have been putting out like badass electric cars for a while. Your Audis, your Porsches, their design studios don't burn down. It's GM's that burns down.
Yeah.
Like, it's really a bad look.
Yeah, it's not great.
Like multiple ways. It really is.
Yeah, as Sean says, they can't just use water to put out a battery fire, and that's the problem. It's like if it's a lithium battery, you need a special foam to put out that fire. You can't just spray water at it. It burns hotter and all kinds of craziness. And odds are good they must have had somebody on hand or close by that could put that out, or else that whole building would have gone down. Because it's like I've seen them before on the road down in Pittsburgh where a Tesla caught fire. And there was like 3 or 4 fire trucks sitting there, and they were all just standing there looking at it. I remember watching. I'm like, what are they doing? Like, why aren't you? I didn't know at the time. They were just sitting there looking at it. And when I came by later, all that was left was the frame. And I was like, what?
Let it burn.
They never even tried to put it out because they didn't have the stuff to do it.
No, they cordon it off so people can't get to it and just let it burn. We
Yep.
call that a barbecue here in Atlanta when those happen.
Barbecue.
Seriously, they say it on the news and the radio. We got a
Oh my God.
barbecue on 285. So
Is that the same road where you'll have like random refrigerators and stuff?
absolutely,
Of course.
Mobile
I can't
meth labs,
I
everything.
can't wait to never see that road.
But if you come down here, you'll see it. We're gonna
You've made it
experience
sound
just
so
one day.
fantastic. I have no interest in seeing that. All right, guys, we got 140 people watching. Smash thumbs up for us. We got a couple
go,
bits,
guys.
couple little more things of information to talk about. But in the meantime, guys, you can win a Scrape Armor Radiator Grill Guard set for your car for Z06, ZR1, or E-Ray for the front or side intakes, which you would choose which one you want. $10 is a donation. $50 or more is double entries. We will be giving them away tonight. So in less than probably 15 minutes. So jump on this now, guys.
Yeah, and hybrids. I mean, we all have to, we all have to kind of accept that that's going to be the future of.
That's where the
performance.
power
Because, I mean,
is,
like Porsche.
you know.
Yeah, Porsche's new 911 Turbo S is a hybrid. I mean, this hypercars are going hybrid. I mean, that's what it's going to be. But there've been even Toyota, who was like the biggest pusher of a lot of the hybrid stuff. Like they've said, full EV's not the way to go.
No.
Period.
24 3LZ Riptide says, how many years will they produce the C8 in all versions compared to other model years? Are they milking this model and flooding the market? So my guess and what I've been told from internal sources is going to be either 2029 or 2030 before they move to the next platform. Now there's a reason for this, and this goes to show you just how special the cars are that we have here. The C8 is a great platform. There's really not a lot of improvement to be had. When they go to the C9, they're going to talk about, oh, we strengthened this, we strengthened that. Overall, it's 9% stiffer than the C8. It's going to be a small margin of bump, to the point where some people, internal people at GM, have speculated that it may not even be called a C9. It may be called like a half revision of a C8, because it's not going to be a gigantic departure from what we have already. So it wouldn't surprise me if when 2029 or 2030, that when the new version of the car comes out, that it's still called a C8. And it's just a slight revision of what we have now.
I mean, it makes sense with the amount of time they spent developing the chassis and that giant leap forward. I mean, it totally makes sense.
It would, but it also makes sense that they'd call it a C9. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be in 2029 or 2030. That's where they're going to run it to.
Steve Robertson's in the chat, says he's driving his new Z06. He's got 10 miles to break in. You're going to break it in on the channel, bro. Good for you.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's fantastic. Really, really awesome. Number one, that he's driving and listening to the channel at the same time. I really appreciate that. You guys really do seem to have some serious dedication to this, and I appreciate that, because I have dedicated everything I can to making sure that we're here every Monday as well, during holidays and everything else, just because I want everybody to know that this is happening. Unless I'm dead or dying, this show will be happening on Mondays. So yeah, I appreciate you guys being just as diehard as I am. John Perkins says he just added an X brace and saved a bunch of money. Was that the one that you won here on the channel, John? I think you won an X brace, if I remember right. You won something from Speedway Composites. Jay Browson says the C8 platform will go down in history as the best Corvette that was ever made. It very well may. I mean, it is definitely going to go down as the largest year-over-year jump in performance / just changes in general. Because, I mean, you went from the C4 to the C7. The Corvette was so similar. It was just evolutionary changes. And from the C7 to the C8, totally, completely different vehicle. So there's definitely something to be said about that.
Well, the thing I think we're going to look back on, Justin, when we talk about the C8 and the jump from the C7 to the C8, everybody forgets, right? I mean, we talk about the Z06 because we own them, the ZR1, the Zs. That C8 Stingray in 2020 was selling for $59,995.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
That just blows my mind that you get a mid-engine car with that level of performance for 60 grand. That was crazy, man.
Yeah, because I
Crazy.
remember I made videos prior to that talking about some of the speculation that I had heard. People were throwing around $200,000, $300,000 tags, and here it is for 60 grand. And it's like, you
And
guys
now,
weren't even
and
close.
we, yeah, well, and we got on the list early. Brandon and I did at Christmas, and they guaranteed MSRP. So, like, literally, even though we changed our reservation over to the Z06 when they announced that, but like, it was going to be 59,995. We did Z51. I can't remember what else I spec'd out, but literally, it was like $67,000, like all said. I was like, this is
Yeah, it's
crazy.
wild.
This doesn't even make sense.
Z4 Life says the C9 will be marginal increase over the C8. It 100% will be. Darren says the C7 profits helped fund the C8 development. C8 profits are already helping fund development of the next platform. 100% accurate. They've probably been working on the C9 since the C8 first hit the streets. And that is very, very, very possible. Very much likely the case. But even then, the way that the platform is set up, it's going to be difficult to improve upon it. There's only a handful of things that I could even throw at you to say they should do this, they should do that. The biggest one is weight. If the C9 comes out and they focus on keeping that thing as lightweight as possible, that would be the biggest place they could make a better, a big improvement over the C8. Because other than that, the frame on the C8 is already pretty freaking stiff. The design of the car is already really good. You change the front bumper, the headlights, the rear bumper, the taillights, and drop 200 or 300 pounds out of it, bam, you got a C9. Like, there's not much else you got to change. I don't know what else you really have to do.
People who have dropped weight, you may say, "Oh, drop 200 or 300 pounds." 200 or 300 pounds in this car makes a freaking huge difference in the way it drives and performs.
I mean, that video I produced talking about taking 120 pounds out, that 120 pounds, you can feel that. You can feel that that's going. Especially when you take it out of the wheels. If you take it out of the wheels, the second you put that car in drive, you will notice that those wheels weigh less.
Yep. Well, and the thing is that I think part of why this platform's so good across every model is because, like we talked about, when they started developing this, they were developing it top down. They were, okay, ZR1, what do we want to do with it? What do we need? What are we going to have? What power levels? What? And all of that crap trickled down to the rest of the lineup. So that's why it's going to be really hard to improve upon, because now we have the ZR1 in its final iteration of form where we're like, holy crap, this thing makes 1,000 horsepower. It goes 233 miles an hour. It's a, it's a low 9-second quarter-mile car. So, like, that's how are you going to improve on that? Like you said, the biggest thing will be, of course, the visual, but weight. If you can use different materials and design and get the weight down, now you're talking.
So, Darth Vader, I got you in for 2 entries. Thank you for the donations, of course. Steven, I got you in, or I see you got your fire badge. I hate that the names are messed up on here right now.
I know.
Steve Robertson, got your fire badge. The fire beside your name for Steve and Jay Brazelton I see on the screen right now. That means you guys have been subscribers of the memberships on this channel for over 12 months. That's really awesome. I think, David's got the turbo, so the next up for him is going to be the fire. So he's been on the membership for almost a year. That's really awesome that you guys have stuck with it for that long. I really appreciate it. I see a lot of green names in the chat. It means a lot to me that you guys have done that. And like I said, I'm working on special things I'm going to be able to do for you guys in the future. So keep on keeping on. I really appreciate it. Robert Brunn says, yeah, of course, with the C9, we are looking at most likely new engines because, just like David said earlier, there's a real good chance the majority of the C9 lineup is probably going to be performance hybrids. They're going to, in order to reach a certain amount of power and maintain a decent amount of mechanical grip, you really don't have a choice but to go all-wheel drive. And the easiest, cheapest, lightest weight possible option to do that is a hybrid setup on, with the electric motor up front versus an actual drive shaft and everything else. Then you're adding weight. So if they are conscious of the weight and they decide to make an all-wheel drive version still a hybrid setup like that, they just, like I said, you got to keep an eye on the weight on these cars, because the Z06 with some weight stripped out of it, like I have 120 pounds stripped out of mine, you're looking at about a 3,500 pound car, maybe a little bit less than that with the weight stripped out of it. The ZR1
Yep.
is like 3,700 pounds. The ZR1X is literally knocking on 4,000 pound door. Like that is it's too heavy. You're getting too heavy at that point. That's at 4,000 pounds. You're about 1,000 pounds heavy. Like that car should be no more than 3,000, 3,200 absolute max. And yeah,
Yep.
that's one of the big ways to do it is a carbon tub. But then you're talking about gigantic price increases. And I mean, we were already seeing $250,000 Corvettes. Do we really want to go any higher than that?
Well, I think it would be good for a Halo model, right? Like your Zora or whatever else. Like make it that one-off insane, carbon tub, whatever else.
Yeah.
But to do it mass produced and keep it like, because right now that is the bang for the buck. I mean, yeah, the Z1 and Z1X are insanely good cars, but I mean, look how much performance you get for 140 out of a Z06.
Yeah.
There's nothing anywhere near that price that will touch you. Not even close, man.
No, and that's the real beauty that everybody seems to forget. I mean, I hear these arguments online all the time, and I'm like, the majority of the arguments I see from people making arguments about the Z06, specifically the Z06 not being a supercar or the ZR1 not being a supercar, 90% of the people that are making those arguments don't own either. And
Right.
not only do they not own either one of those two cars, but they don't even own a car that would be in the supercar race or supercar lineup.
Wow.
So it's like
And it,
the people like me and David who do own these cars, I would tell you without even a remote bit of hesitation, the Z06 is without a doubt a supercar. 100%, it's a supercar.
yep.
The ZR1, I still would say is a supercar. I would not take it to the next level of hypercar. Neither would I take the ZR1X to that point. I think it's missing a couple things to be a hypercar. The biggest one is production numbers. Unless the ZR1X comes out and they only make 10 of them a year, it's not going to be considered a hypercar. That's just the way my mind works with it.
Well, and still too, like the numbers don't lie. Like even now, okay, I'm excited for this year's Lightning Lab because there's some big dogs coming this year, like big dogs coming. But the Z06 is still like the 5th or 6th fastest car they've ever tested on Lightning Lab, and it's still the fastest NA car they've ever tested. Look at the cars that they're running against: GT2s, GT3s, Lambos, Ferraris. That list is chock full of supercars, top to bottom, and they're all behind the Z06. I mean, it's still a supercar. Like I said, the fact that what makes it so great is we can get one for what is this, 140, whatever. You can get supercar performance for $140,000 and a warranty in a car you could daily drive if you had to. I mean, it's
my
really
big thing
amazing.
is Sean is asking about a specific car, but I would counter this with a different car. I don't think the 456 was a supercar, no. But
458.
the 458, which is just so happens to be almost identical to the freaking Z06. I mean, the engineers at Chevy flat out said they reverse engineered a 458 to make the Z06. So, and to me, the 458 is one of the best Ferraris out there. I prefer the 458.
I still say the same thing. Yep.
I prefer the 458 over the 488. And it's like the reason is the same reason why I'm not sure I'm going to love this ZR1 is because the 488 doesn't have that sound. It doesn't have that aggressive feeling that you get out of the 458, which is the Z06 versus ZR1 debate. It's the same thing. The 458, hands down, that's a supercar. Same reason why I would say the Z06 is.
But I can't remember how many years in a row that 458 engine won engine of the year. It was more than what, it was 3 years in a row, maybe.
It's because at the time everybody was scared to go big displacement with flat plane cranks, and at the time Ferraris was a big displacement engine for a flat plane crank, and then Chevy's like, well, here, hold my beer, I'm gonna go even bigger.
Well, and the thing with that too, like I work with a guy who's one of the biggest Ferrari guys on the planet. He owns like 6, and they're mega dollar Ferraris. They're not like, and he still has a 458 and tells me he will never sell it for that reason.
Yeah, 100%.
It's one of his favorite and he has mega Ferraris, like $1 million Ferrari. He don't care, but literally that is one of his favorite cars in the whole world. He's like, I will never sell it.
Yeah, I can totally see that being the case because you're never going to get another one of those.
Nope.
And only that, it's like, yeah, the 458 Special, like those are fantastic looking, performing, sounding cars. Like if I bought a Ferrari tomorrow, mark my words, it'd be a 458.
And I had just finished 2 days at Ron Fellows, went to Vegas, went to their track thingy that you rented a 488 GTB and was unimpressed with it, not because it wasn't a great car. It's a great date night car. It looks sexy. It's amazing. But I had just spent 2 days beating the crap out of a Z06
Yeah,
on Fellows,
exactly.
and the
And it's faster.
488 GTB
Yeah.
just didn't have that. The brakes were better on the Z06. The power was better on the Z06, and I'll say it, the handling was better
Yeah.
on the Z06.
Well, I mean,
And this was literally
you're
finished class on Tuesday, rented on Wednesday.
you're
Literally
talking
back to
about the difference of multiple years. You know what I mean?
but still.
But still, you're not wrong. But at the same time, you're comparing an older car to a newer car, so
Yeah, sure.
it is what it is. But at the end of the day, that just goes to show you that Chevy created something really special with the Z06.
That's where I was going with that.
Yeah.
Yep. Because if you can put it up against a 488 GTB, even though yes, it's an R, and you can like get in it and go, wow, I'm kind of unimpressed with the performance.
Yeah, right.
That says a lot.
Yeah.
So.
So interestingly, Steve Robertson just said that the first impression of his 2026 Z06 is that he has much smoother shifts. I'm wondering if they did anything with the transmission. Now, Chevy, of course, is not going to say that they did.
Right.
But it's very possible that they changed little things here and there. Maybe started using a different fluid or something that you won't know for a couple years or so.
And it may just be silly stuff like calibration stuff like clutch line pressure. It may just be even small crap like that. You never know.
It could
We're
also
not gonna
be
tell you.
it could also be the exact same thing I experienced. My 2023 Z06,
Oh yeah.
when I sold it, had almost 13,000 miles on it.
Right.
And then I get right into a 2025 unmodified Z06 and everything felt smoother. And it's like, well, yeah,
Yep.
the car's brand new. Like
Exactly.
it hasn't been broken in yet. So as you know, as time goes by, I still think my 2025 shifts smoother than my 2023 did.
Right.
Is it placebo? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. This is something to keep an eye on, though, Steve. We'll come back with you probably next Monday night. Maybe I'll ask you, if it still feels that way and if it continues to feel that way.
Yeah, especially once you unlock it, bro, and you're hammering on it, let us know. Like, I'd really like to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah, E-Ray says, imagine a 7-liter flat plane crank. I'm done saying never because whenever the Z06 was being worked on, I kept using the 458 as a reason why Chevy was never going to be able to push a 5.5 liter flat plane crank. I'm done saying that kind of stuff because Chevy finds a way. So it is absolutely possible that we could see a 7-liter flat plane crank, and that would be absolutely insane. You want to talk about that engine better find its way into a Z06 and a Z06 only, because that is everything about a Z06 in that statement. Flat plane and 7-liter, that's Z06 through and through.
Yep. That would be, wow. That would be crazy.
Robert Brunn said that he read that the ZR1 registered a 130 decibel reading at the ring. That's pretty insane. Because they probably have turndowns on those things too. So if it's still hitting 130, that's wild. Z4 Life said, I would love to hear in person a Z06 with the AWE exhaust to see the difference to a 4. The difference would be huge if you're comparing it to a 488, but I would like to see both of them, a 458 and an AWE exhaust Z06 side by side. That would be cool. It's so cool to be balloons.
So Eric that owns Injected here, he has a friend who's got a 458 that they brought in, and they were just kind of like, whatever. And I called him. I was like, we need to set up an exhaust comparison or an engine rev sound. So I've got that coming, by the way. But it'll be a 458 and my Z06. Not running or racing because that guy babies his cars, but
just rev
engine sounds, revs. Yeah. It's gonna be awesome.
Pretty cool. I'll take that still.
Yep.
Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, see, this is something I want to actually put in a video here pretty soon, Jay. He says with the Z06, he wishes it had a little bit more power in its mid-range. That's where the solar performance throttle controller came in. I think it's even more than that. For me, I have the Sport Cats, AWE exhaust, 91 millimeter throttle bodies, and the Venturi intake. And those 4 things literally took this car from, because if you remember right, my 2023, I had all the same stuff. Then I sell that and I go immediately to a stock Z06 with none of these mods. That car felt ridiculously slow to me. Like, until I did all the mods on my Seawolf Gray Z06, I was really not super pleased with the way the car was driving. After the mods, though, it literally feels like a different car. It feels like I'm up close to 100 horsepower throughout the mid-range. And based on the numbers I've seen from other people, that's pretty accurate. You're somewhere between 70 and 75 horsepower up through the mid-range. And you feel that. The car responds better. It feels like there's more torque earlier. Power comes on earlier, of course. And it's a different car with 4 mods. It is a totally different car. And actually, that might be the title of my video coming. So,
And I'll be honest with you. I mean, just in, I don't know, how many people out there have done 60 to 130 stuff. Stock 60 to 130 on a stock Z06, and my car's 1LZ, so it's lighter than most, but was around 8 seconds. Okay. That's not bad, but it's not blistering fast. It's fast. With just the mods, basically, you mentioned that you have in your car that I have on my car. You have a little bit more weight reduction on some things, more rotating mass than I do. But anyway, it's over a sec. It's into the 6s now, just with those mods. You've picked up over a second.
2 seconds.
6130. That is huge.
That is huge. Yeah.
Like
And
mid 6s. It's like a 6.5 car now.
Yeah, the video I made about dropping 120 pounds out of the car, I didn't really get into it as much as I probably should have, to tell you that pulling 120 pounds out of a car without losing anything is gigantic. Right. I mean, usually if you're dropping that amount of weight, you're pulling out the AC, you're pulling out the stock seats, you're pulling out all this stuff. I didn't have to do any of that because the stuff that I was changing was just lighter weight versions of the same thing that the car already had. So really, really big. It makes a big deal for sure.
And most of those mods, what they do too is take the torque curve and move it down further into the power band. So
exactly.
You're taking those bigger numbers up in the meat of that power band. Yep. So you feel,
and that's where you spend. That's where you spend all your time driving. Like, I don't care if I added mod that at the very end of 8,600 RPM, it adds 20 horsepower. I care what it's doing to that point. Like, if I'm at 4,000 and it's adding 50, I don't care what it does at 8,600.
If you're trying to get weight
there.
out, and if you're trying to get weight out on these cars, like you said, the ways you've been doing is, I mean, some of the options are pricey, but like, it's not the old days. Like, Brandon said, you take the seats out. Now you deal with all the lights, the check engine lights, the sensors, all that BS.
And then
there's so much BS that you have to deal with now. So to get it to where you got 120 pounds out and it drives and functions just like stock is awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, that's not even saying the big things to me. As I've said before, I'm a form over function kind of guy. The seats never look as good. You have really nice stock seats on the C8. So you're going to pull that out and throw in a carbon bucket, which if it's carbon, you're lucky. It'll look kind of cool because it's carbon fiber. It's going to suck to sit on. It's going to be a fixed back seat. You're going to be sitting basically directly on the floor. There's going to be no adjustments, no cooled seats, no heated seats, no airbags. So like David said, you're going to get all these lights, plus the seats are going to look not great in there. And it's like, if you're willing to sacrifice form over function, yeah, you can strip out the entire interior of the car, the frunk, the trunk. You could probably strip out 300 pounds out of this thing, but it's going to look ridiculous. And if you're not okay with that,
you kind of ruin the experience of driving the car just for those times where you just really want to go fast, right?
Exactly.
Like you really do. And the other thing is like,
both.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing, like, so, you're talking about the carbon buckets, right? Like I sat in them, they're comfortable for the first 15 minutes, right? After that, it's just not. I've had carbon buckets in other cars, and so it's the same thing. They're okay for like the first 15 minutes, but then you pad them up and all this other stuff, and you start adding weight back to it. But to gut a car and ruin the experience just to make it fast. I mean, I've done that a bunch of times in my life, but I'm not going to do that on my Z06. I'm not going to do that on my C6 Z06. I want to get as much as I can out of the car, but like you said, form over function as well. It has to look good. It still has to have that great stock driving experience.
Agreed.
There.
Sean says, sorry, Ferrari has too many numbers for him to remember accurately all the time. He meant to say Ferrari 458. I figured you probably did, Sean, because I had to look up what the 456 was. I was like, that car's old as heck, and I've never even seen one, so there's no way that he's referring to that. But just in case you were, I wanted to throw it out there. The 456 was not really a super special Ferrari, but the 458 will go down in history, just like I've said from the very beginning, the Z06 will. Z06. In 20 years from now, when the C9 or C10's out, and we're remembering, oh yeah, you remember the C8 Corvette? Be like, yeah, that Z06 was something else. The Z06 is what's going to be remembered. And That's over even the ZR1. I'm telling you now. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm telling you that's the way it will be because that's the way it was with the C6 generation. The C6 ZR1 was amazing. But when you mentioned
Yep.
C6 Corvette, everybody's thought goes straight to the Z06 because that was the cool, that was the car. And
That's true.
the C8 Z06 is going to be the same way. The C8 E-Ray, no one's even going to remember the name. The C8 ZR1X, probably kind of the same. It's going to be the C8 ZR1 or the C8 Z06. Those are going to be the two that are really going to captivate people's memories.
But you don't even have to stop at the C6. The C5 is the same way, right? Like the C5 Z06, the fixed roof coupe, like, but also the better suspension, the better brakes, the better motor. I mean, it's what they've always done, and they're the cars that always really get that legacy, we should say, that just make them a legend. Where the 7-liter LS7, it's a legend.
That's
Right?
it.
The LT6, it's going to be a legend. I mean, that's just what makes these cars what they are. And I'm with you, man. I think 10, 15 years from now, it's the same conversation we're having about the C6 Z06 or the 458 or whatever. Because this car sounds better than the 458. I'll say it. I don't
It
care.
does, yeah.
It sounds better.
The 458 sounds awesome. The Z06 sounds better
amazing.
because it's a larger displacement, still flat plane crank. It screams. It's that simple. The
Brains.
458 does too, but it's not quite as loud. It's not quite as earth-shattering as the Z06 is.
Yep.
So, guys, we are getting towards the end here. So if you haven't hit that thumbs up button yet, please do. We are going to run this wheel here in a second. So if you guys are interested in getting the scrape armor radiator grill guards, the side intake guards, or the front ones, whichever ones you choose, if you win, you get to choose. It's going to be for the Z06 or the E-Ray or possibly the ZR1 if you need the front ones. If you want to try to win these guys, $10 is an entry, $50 or more is double entries. I'm going to give you the next 4 minutes to do that, and then we're going to run this wheel and see who wins. It is going to be given away tonight. So get in on this while you still can, guys. If you have a wide body C8, trust me when I tell you, you need these. So
yes, you do.
I'm going to start adding these in. And if you guys want to jump in there, I will be able to get you in here while I'm adding these in. But you got 4 more minutes.
Yeah, and NBA Live, you're right. McLaren offers carbon buckets as an option. So does Porsche. But I mean, I've sat in specifically both, and they're good. And then I've had sat in the tillets for these as well. But it's just 15 minutes or so, great. But I think a full track session and I'm done. I don't want to drive the car home on those carbon buckets, if that makes sense. Like, sure, full 20-minute track session, I'm going all out. I got the support, it's lightweight, whatever. But then to sit in that same seat to go home, and then I had Kirky aluminum seats with the padding, so a little bit different. But I mean, same thing in one of my previous race cars that I built, and my truck broke down that I used to trailer with. I literally drove it from Atlanta to Bowling Green to race in a race and drove it back. So I drove like 4.5, 5 hours in racing seats. And I will tell you that it is not something that you ever want to do other than just short bursts for track time. It was my body hurt so bad after that. It was terrible, man. So they have a purpose, but I like the fact that I can get in my car, be as comfortable as I want, drive as long as I want, and get as much performance as I can out of it. And who knows, somebody unlocks these one day, and now now the conversation completely changes.
If I had to, well, I wouldn't even say if I had to. If I bought a Porsche GT3 RS, I wouldn't even consider any seat except for the carbon buckets. And I don't care if I hated it or not. They look amazing in that car, and they're obviously cutting way down on the interior. I don't care how uncomfortable they were. I'd be in them because they look good and they match the car.
But on that car too, that you're buying a GT3 RS as a track car, period. Right? That's what that car was just made for. I would do the same. If I had GT3 RS money, and I was thinking I would do the same thing Jeremy did. I would do the carbon buckets, and I would get that dang one-piece carbon fiber roll cage.
Oh, dude, that thing looks awesome. Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, just because, like you said, it looks like it was made specifically as a part of that car, like liquid. It was amazing.
TD says, Justin, you need to do some electronic protection in your car, i.e. detector and blinder. I do have a radar detector in my car, and it's actually the Redline 360C, so it's actually a stealth detector, so radar detectors can't detect it. Oh, God. that is the technology that's in it. But I do have the radar detector, and then I use Waze all the time as well. I didn't want to do anything that shifted laser because really here in Pennsylvania they don't use laser, so there's not really a point in me having laser shifters on the car or anything. Plus those are illegal no matter where you go. I don't really need any additional reasons to get pulled over. So I have a radar detector that's not able to be picked up by, their detectors. I hate saying it. The radar detectors. But
But the problem here in Georgia is the GSPs now all using laser. They don't even use radar anymore, man.
yeah.
So,
And man, laser's wild.
yeah.
Like
Well, and if you have the one, there's the one that that I've seen people around here using that has it'll jam them for like 3 seconds, and then you can slam on the brakes for that 3 seconds.
Yeah,
And then
that's a laser
but I mean,
shifter.
but I'm saying the laser shifter. But I mean, they have to know. You know what I mean? Like they just have to.
No,
they
what if the shifter's working accurately? What it's doing is it's delaying the response back to the gun. So it'll delay it for only. If you do it any more than 3 seconds, they're gonna know you're doing it. But you can delay it for 3 seconds and they can't tell for sure you're doing it.
Right.
All right, so we're at the 5-minute mark. We got one additional entry in there, Brad. I got you added in there. But we're going to go ahead and spin this wheel, see who wins this stuff. I got all the names in there. So here's the wheel. I'm going to go ahead and
Big bucks, no win.
I'm going to shuffle these things around a little bit, try to make the wheel a little less lopsided. That looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and spin this thing.
Big bucks, no whammies. Jay Bracelet.
Looks like if he had donated $10 less, it would have clicked over to DBM.
I would have given it away. It's fine.
All right, Jay, you're the winner. So
Jay.
Jay, just text me your shipping address and I'll make sure these get sent out to you. And tell me which ones you want: the front grill guards or the side intake guards. Either one of the two I can get for you. So let me know which ones you want and we'll get you hooked up. But guys, I appreciate the donations as always. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Big thank you to David for joining us tonight. But other than that, we're all set. We're all good to go here, guys. So smash the thumbs up button for me if you can. And we'll see you same time, same place next Monday night. And until then, stay obsessed.